Blackheads are one of the most common forms of acne, and preventing them usually has much less to do with aggressive scrubbing and much more to do with staying calm, using consistent habits, and choosing products that work with your skin instead of picking fights with it. A blackhead forms when oil, dead skin cells, and debris collect inside a pore, and the surface of that clogged material is exposed to air, which makes it darken. So the main goal is to reduce buildup while also protecting the skin barrier from irritation. A gentle routine is usually the most effective routine. Wash your face with a mild cleanser and lukewarm water in the morning and again at night. And if you sweat heavily after exercise, yard work, or a long hot day, it is sensible to cleanse afterward in a gentle way instead of letting sweat, oil, sunscreen, and residue sit on your skin for hours. What usually does not help is washing the face over and over throughout the day, rubbing hard with rough cloths, grinding gritty scrubs into the skin, or treating blackheads as if they were dirt that can simply be polished away by force. Too much friction often leaves the skin red, tight, and irritated, while the clogged pores remain exactly where they were. It is also important not to squeeze, pinch, scrape, or dig at blackheads with fingernails or home tools because that can worsen inflammation and may leave marks or scars that last much longer than the original clogging. Choose skincare, sunscreen, makeup, and hair products that are labeled non-comedogenic, oil-free, or water-based when possible, because heavier oily products can make congestion worse. If you use waxes, pomades, or rich leave-in hair products, try to keep them away from the forehead and sides of the face, because those areas often react badly to residue. Remove makeup completely before bed, change pillowcases and face towels regularly, and try not to spend the day resting your face in your hands while reading, scrolling, or watching television. If your skin tolerates active ingredients, salicylic acid can help loosen dead skin and reduce pore buildup. And adapalene can also be useful because it helps prevent pores from clogging over time. But the smart approach is to start slowly, use one main active product at a time, and stay steady rather than trying 6 new things in one impatient weekend. A lightweight moisturizer can still help even if your skin is oily, because dehydrated, irritated skin often becomes harder to manage, and sunscreen matters too, especially if you use exfoliating or retinoid-type products. So, a comfortable, lightweight sunscreen is worth finding. Prevention is usually boring in the best possible way: gentle cleansing, reasonable products, patience, and resisting the urge to punish your face because progress is slower than your mood. And if acne becomes painful, deep, widespread, or starts leaving scars or dark marks, it is wiser to get professional advice than to keep improvising in frustration. Now that the sensible skin part is complete, let us leave the bathroom mirror behind and travel to a small retirement community in the United States where nobody cared much about clogged pores, but everybody cared very deeply about coffee temperature, raffle, fairness, and whether a decorative goose in a straw hat counted as spring charm or visual misconduct. The place was called Cedar Glen Village, a retirement community outside Indianapolis where the sidewalks were wide, the mailboxes were identical, the lawns were clipped with suspicious precision, and the clubhouse calendar was so crowded that new residents often needed a nap just from reading Tuesday. There was chair yoga on Mondays, bunko on Tuesdays, hymn sing on Wednesdays, cards on Thursdays, and every Friday afternoon the famous coffee and cheer social, an event repeatedly described as casual by people who then spent all morning arguing over napkin color. The main attraction of coffee and cheer was not officially the coffee, though several residents would have supported that interpretation under oath. The main attraction was the weekly presentation of the Blue Ribbon Kettle, a bizarre little trophy made from a miniature tea kettle painted blue and screwed onto a wooden plaque sometime in the late 90s by a volunteer named Cliff, who believed the words festive and hardware compatible were close cousins, Whoever received the blue ribbon kettle got their picture posted on the hallway bulletin board and enjoyed a full week of people saying things like, "Well deserved and about time," and "I always knew you had it in you," which sounded warm on the surface, but occasionally carried the emotional undertow of a card game gone personal. The reigning holder of the blue ribbon kettle that spring was 75-year-old Dolores Hatcher, a retired middle school secretary with silver curls, bifocals on a chain, and the deeply rooted posture of a woman who had once quieted entire hallways by merely pausing in a doorway. Dolores lived in cottage 18 with 3 potted ferns, a tin of butter cookies no one was ever entirely forbidden to open, and a television remote she covered in tape because the volume button had become spiritually unreliable. Her closest friend in Cedar Glen was Marvin Cole, age 80, widower, former owner of a hardware store, teller of long stories, and wearer of suspenders decorated with tiny mallards that he insisted made him look festive without sacrificing credibility. Marvin believed 2 things with great conviction. Pie should not be called a tart unless it had legal paperwork, and any gathering that served weak coffee was a threat to civilization. On the Friday morning before Memorial Day weekend, Dolores arrived at the clubhouse carrying a rhubarb cake and found the front lobby in active confusion. Louise Mercer, chair of hospitality, was arranging sugar packets into lines so straight they looked unionized. Bobby Sloan stood on a folding chair trying to tape up a banner that read, "Welcome friends to spring," though the letter P kept peeling downward and making the banner look emotionally tired. And at the reception desk stood Jenna, the 31-year-old activities coordinator, clutching a clipboard and a cordless label maker while wearing the 1,000-yard stare of a younger person who had not expected her career to include mediating disagreements about whether cheese cubes belonged nearer the coffee urn, farther away for aromatic dignity. Dolores set down the cake. "Tell me who's upset, and please narrow it by urgency." Jenna looked up with relief. "No one is fully upset yet, but Mr. Stowe, Barlow says the raffle basket table is in a dead zone for charm, and Shirley claims the pastry plates are too close to the windows and will read flat. I don't know what that means, and I no longer have the courage to ask." Marvin entered through the side door carrying 2 boxes of paper cups. "It means they're warming up," he said. "By noon, somebody will say the orange slices look politically biased." The morning went on in the usual cheerful, overmanaged way until 10:22, when the first remarkable event occurred. Beatrice Nolan, age 77, former church treasurer and bringer of cinnamon bread that could repair damaged moods, marched into the lobby holding a serving spoon and announced, "The kettle is gone." The room froze. Louise stopped mid-sugar row. Bobby nearly stepped off the chair. Jenna closed her eyes for one short, desperate second. Dolores turned toward the glass display case beside the piano where the blue ribbon kettle had stood all week. The middle shelf was empty except for a clean kettle-shaped mark in the dust, 1 wrapped peppermint, and a very small streak of pale pink frosting. "Gone as in moved?" Jenna asked, in the weak, hopeful tone of a person begging the universe to say yes. "Gone as in not there," Beatrice said. "Which is the troublesome kind of gone?" Within moments, a semicircle of residents had formed around the case, all leaning in with the bright-eyed intensity of people who had just been handed an event to discuss through dinner. Howard Bell adjusted his hearing aid. Mavis Turner clutched her pearls as if trained by reflex. Someone in the back whispered, "I knew this would happen eventually," though nobody clarified whether they had specifically anticipated ceremonial tea kettle disappearance or were merely thrilled to sound prophetic. Dolores stepped closer and examined the lock. "No damage," she said. Marvin pointed at the frosting. "Someone touched dessert and the trophy in close sequence, which tells me we are dealing with a local." "The peppermint tells us the same thing," Louise said. "Half this building is 80% mint by volume." Jenna rubbed her forehead. "I left the cabinet key on the front desk while I was making name tags." Marvin nodded sadly. "That's how history gets written in retirement communities." Not with courage, with convenience. Because Dolores was practical and Marvin was curious, and because communities always end up following the people who look least likely to faint. The two of them became the unofficial investigators before anyone formally said so. Louise joined because control was her religion. Beatrice joined because she had already finished the cinnamon bread and therefore had emotional room. Jenna joined because, if she did not, she feared she might start screaming professionally. First, they made a list of everyone who had been in the hall around 10 o'clock. Jenna read from memory. Louise, Beatrice, Bobby, Howard, Mavis, Shirley Lambert from the decorating committee, Arnold Pierce returning folding chairs, June Baxter looking for the restroom she still forgot every single week, and a new resident named Ronald from Maple Court, who had spent the morning smiling with the careful uncertainty of a man not yet sure how much participation retirement required. Ronald turned out to be a retired bank manager from Ohio, with polished loafers, an even voice, and the slightly haunted expression of a person who had been promised leisure and instead found committees. "I saw the kettle earlier," Ronald said. "It looked important in a ceremonial refreshment sense." "Did you see anyone near it?" Dolores asked. Ronald frowned. "A woman in coral, or salmon, or one of those colors that are technically different but practically emotional." This described about 9 women, 3 blouses, and 1 table runner. The first true clue appeared at 10:39, when Marvin noticed a faint blue paint mark on the edge of the doorway leading toward the television room. "Either our kettle clipped the frame," he said, "or someone has started a deeply specific craft emergency." On the carpet below the mark sat a tiny silver rhinestone shaped like a flower. Louise inhaled sharply. "That belongs to Shirley Lambert. Shirley Lambert, 72, former beauty salon owner, current champion of bold scarves, dramatic earrings, and opinions delivered like parade floats, was the only resident in Cedar Glen who could make orthopedic shoes look like a deliberate aesthetic position. When confronted, Shirley examined the rhinestone and said, "Yes, that is probably mine, but that proves nothing except that glamour leaves clues." "Where were you at 10?" Dolores asked. "In the ladies' room adjusting lipstick and saving the day from poor overhead lighting," Shirley replied. "Ask anyone." "Anyone who wasn't also adjusting lipstick?" Marvin asked. "You'll have to take what the room gives you," Shirley said. This yielded no useful proof, and one unnecessary side argument about vanity that had to be neutralized with coffee. Then Beverly Marsh hurried in from the kitchen holding a Polaroid photograph. "I found this in the silverware drawer," she announced. The picture showed the blue ribbon kettle perched proudly in a bowl of potato salad beside a floral paper cup of coffee and half a blueberry muffin. On the back, written in thick black marker, were the words, "She requested a better breakfast before the ceremony." Marvin laughed first, abruptly and helplessly, then coughed as if trying to make it seem involuntary. Dolores took the photo. The potato salad was clearly from the clubhouse fridge. The coffee cup was one of Louise's floral paper cups, and the blueberry muffin looked suspiciously like Beatrice's. "So this is not theft," Louise said. "This is theater." "No," Marvin said. "This is editorial theater, which is worse because it means the culprit believes they are right." The room shifted from alarm to fascinated outrage. Whoever had taken the kettle wanted to be noticed, wanted the building to laugh despite itself, and had enough nerve to involve food. "Someone comfortable in the clubhouse," Dolores said. "Someone with time," Beatrice added. "Someone with a dangerous amount of confidence in prop styling," Shirley said, offended on artistic grounds. The coffee and cheer social continued anyway, though at that point nobody truly cared about the cheese cubes or the fruit cups, or the raffle basket with the hand lotion and lemon wafers. All conversation bent back toward the blue ribbon kettle. The card players postponed rummy. The piano player gave up and listened.